Hey, I stare myself at the mirror and question things that I once accepted. Now I don't see it the same at all. I guess I'm sorry for how I act in the past.
What are people going to say in 5 years once they're gone for a long time? Like, they're not going to be members forever. They're not going to never leave, you know? Like, but like, what are they going to say? Like, oh, I love that place. You know what I mean? Like, just because if we're going to be part of the community for a long time, like, your reputation beyond when they're members is almost more important.
I don't speak because it's not a way I can really do it. I guess I'm saying that I'm happy, but I'm going through
Attitude, more thanking them online, offline, in person. Just, I mean, don't even be like, hey, listen, thank you so much for working hard the other day. Like, I'll give them a hug. You know, just stuff like that. Like, I really want that to be what we do every day, to the point where it's almost like, guys, we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to be like, yeah, no, we know. Like, almost like it's too much thank you. Like, I just don't think there is. I don't think there's a level of like too much thank you.
It was cool, it was good, nothing happened like we don't know what just happened, that was our mistake. We were young, we were dumb, but it wasn't fake. They don't know how I feel, they don't see how it go. They don't ever relate, they just watching the show. Wanna ask you what's up, cause it still went down. But it's crazy that we grew up.
Alright, so actually, I have something I want us to watch together. It's like 9 minutes. It's Jim Quick. He's this amazing dude who's a memory master. So like he has a whole university online on how to become great at memorizing stuff and like just be more present and aware. And it's a trick to remember names. And I was like, this could be useful.
Yeah.
You pick me up, so I'ma hold it down.
You ever do that? I've been saying that for years. I'm terrible with names, but I know people's faces. It's a really bullshit excuse.
Stories.
Yeah, it's a bad excuse. Like, he has a good point. I don't know if he said it before or after this. He goes, if you were gonna get $100,000 for remembering the next 10 people's names, you would remember the next people. Like, it's just a matter of putting like value and motivation on it, because you can definitely do it. But if you say that I'm bad at remembering names, or like, I was reading stuff about how our brains can only like hold 150 names, and I totally bought that as a wonderful excuse for me to be bad at it. You know what I mean? But this is totally making me rethink this entire thing. So I'm like, if this guy can remember 150 names like just today, you know what I mean? And like, he doesn't ever forget them. Like, next time he meets somebody months later or years later, he still knows.
I'm not the same because you went around. You pick me up, so I'ma hold it down. It's just me and myself.
The topic for tonight is the one thing that across the board I find everybody seems to struggle with. We all either say things like, oh, I'm so out of shape, or I used to be here, or if only I could get to here. The problem is really, really simple. I'm going to say it a couple times. You're either living mentally in the past, or you're living mentally in the future, but we're not living mentally in the present right now. And I find that every single time I hear people talk that's not in the present moment, they're usually suffering. So suffering occurs when we have our constructs of the past or our constructs of the future, but we're not actually being aware of what's happening right now. So we have to be aware of where we are and what's really going on, right? So if we could see things as they truly are in the moment, then we wouldn't suffer as much, right? So for example, right now, I'm not in the best shape, I'm not in the worst shape. I went for a really good run last night. If you guys know me, I'm not the biggest fan of running, but I do it because I'm a big fan of progress. So last night around whatever time I got home, like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I went for just 2 miles. It's a mile to the end of my block, a mile back. And I sprinted like 10-second sprint, 10-second walk, 10-second sprint, 10-second walk on the mile back. And I was spent, but I felt really, really good. I pushed that because I've been doing that 2-mile run. I probably did it 9 or 10 times in the last 4 weeks. Not a lot, not a ton of running, but just a little bit, like two or three times a week. And when I started, it was a much slower pace. I realized where I actually was, and I just had self-awareness of, haven't been running in a while, I'm a little bit heavier, I'm a little bit slower, my joints ache a little bit more, but I'm gonna go at my own pace. I felt good after every run, even though last night was the best one. I felt just as good after the not so good ones because I'm aware of where I actually am. So we suffer when we compare ourselves to where we were. We suffer when we can only picture what's going on in the future. Obviously, goal setting is super important, right? You have to have a goal, you have to have something that we're working towards. But the biggest thing we all suffer from is we're not being clear, and we don't see things as they truly are in the moment. So when you guys are setting up your workouts, your nutrition, your whatever life things you have going on, you have to be like, where am I truly right now? What is going on right now? Like, you have to take stock of yourself and be honest. We teach everybody, you know, and teach our kids, like, don't judge other people, but we judge ourselves so hard, right? Look at yourself without judgment, right? Don't judge yourself. Just be like, cool, where am I at? It's not a judging thing like, oh, I used to be so good, or I gotta get here. Just where you truly are. And then if you set goals based on where you truly are, it's not gonna be as painful. I know where I am right now, and I'm moving forward. And so I feel good, and I'm making progress, and as we know, progress equals happiness. You're not gonna make progress if you live in the past. You're not gonna make progress if you're too focused on the long term. You have to have the long-term plan, like the goal, but just focus on where are you right now. Also, you know, you feel good when you make a little bit of progress, that becomes momentum, and then before you know it, you might just be where you were, or you might actually surpass it. I personally believe you're not actually gonna surpass where you were unless you can actually be self-aware in the moment and in the present. At the end of every day, I have my list of things that I crossed out. I look at the list and I go, nice, good job. I go, awesome, got a lot done, cool, good day, awesome, got it, great. Every day I focus on the progress that I made. I do not give any of my energy or mental focus, and this is hard sometimes for me, a lot, it's hard for me to do this. I'm gonna give any of my mental focus to what didn't get done today. I don't finish my day with, oh man, I should have got that done, I gotta do it tomorrow. I only focus on what I did today. I have to finish my day on a positive note. And then it becomes easier to wake up and do it again because you're not dreading the things you didn't do today. You're proud of yourself and you're proud of the things you got done. And then that feeling of happiness and progress is the momentum into the next day. All right, guys, love you. Always appreciate your attention. Jason, any words, any thoughts?
I love it. I think it was awesome. Perfect. Right on the money. 12 minutes.
Jason likes it. 12? We gotta go faster.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
When I get hit, not retaliating necessarily right away, you know, like just taking a moment. Yeah. I mean, I still do it a little bit, but it's I'll catch myself like, all right. I mean, and actually in most of the rounds, you hit me, and I was like, as soon as you hit me, I'm like, all right, you know, throw something a little counter right then and there, but you know, just compose. Okay, settle, wait, throw.
It's hard because you don't just come in straight forward. You always come in on the angle.
Yeah.
You always fake a bunch of times. Like it's hard to be like, okay, counter the whatever.
Right.
You came over the top of my jab really nicely. Because I got caught like I was just like placing it, feeling it, like trying to see, and you were just like, no, just came right over the top. Move your body on the inside and catch him with the hook, catch him short, you know what I mean? Because there's too much of me going backwards.
Yeah.
Not that I go far back, but just like I'm moving out of my range to avoid getting hit. Stuff, right? Yeah. I need to just slip and counter on the inside. Because then, if I did that successfully enough, you'd be like, okay, every time I go forward, I'm getting tagged. Now I got to change my right. And now, when we stand still for a second, now I'm gonna have more of an opportunity to plan and set and bait. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you know, like whenever I feel like you're baiting too much, I'm like, okay, I gotta hit him with something he's not expecting without moving backwards. Because you expect me to move and throw and move and throw.
Yeah.
And like I'll catch those shots, but they're not that hard.
Right, and I'm going with them.
Right.
You know,
They're not flush.
crazy when I'm coming
Right,
around.
they're not flush, yeah. I have an easy time moving other people because they're just standing upright.
Right.
You're leaning on me, putting your weight on me. So now you feel when I'm moving because your weight is against me. So you feel as I'm moving.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to turn you. That's what I'm trying to do because like you have a slightly shorter lever than I do.
Yeah.
So you're going to slip in a little bit easier.
Right.
So I'm trying to turn and throw and turn and throw.
Yeah.
But every time I turn, since you're leaning on me, you feel where
And
my
I
center
try to
is.
go with you. I mean, there's a couple times where, and I know you're trying to do it, and it's definitely different from what we used to do when we started off like that. But there were a couple times where you almost got away from me, and because we maintained that contact, I was able to pretty much stay with you.
Yeah, you feel it. Because I step out, you go with me, and you keep throwing punches. Like the one time I threw the jab to the body twice, it snuck in because you weren't expecting it.
you're used to like,
Yeah.
I went pop, pop,
Right.
Because you're used to, and then you're like pop, and you're looking for the other one. It's
Yeah.
like a natural reaction. Like,
Yeah.
Because I thought about it because you did it to me on the wall. You're like, pop. I'm like,
Right. Yeah.
you weren't expecting twice.
Two
in-
and yeah. I abandoned my legs pretty quickly in hopes of trying to hit you with them. I just ended up using them as fakes, and because whenever I would throw them, I mean, you would drop, especially that your left hand, you would drop that down a lot.
Because when
So
you throw the left leg, it comes very unexpectedly, and so it's like a reaction.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like I'm in range and you just like throw. I'm like, all right. It's like I'm going forward, and you're like stepping back and then throwing your left leg, and it's like whoa. It's like that because I'm this way,
right.
and I gotta get back quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's just this is not gonna. You know what I mean? If you really threw it. I don't think most people are thinking about the next thing that hasn't been thrown yet when they're blocking one thing. So if he throws a jab, I'm not really thinking about blocking the jab. I'm really only thinking about the next thing he's gonna do. It's like the jab comes and I'm just like I'm looking for that hand. I'm not looking for the hand that I know I know where this is already.
Yeah. This is established. Okay, move on.